Hey guys, this is Dr. Callahan for Algebra 1, Semester 2 for study guide number 1. We're going to go over the instructional material today for number 35 to 44. We've actually already completed number 35, so let's start with 36. But it is under week 18 Friday, and the beginning of your study guide looks like this. It's the first one, and I believe this was actually given to you guys back in week 17 Tuesday. So you might have to like just kind of flip it back a little bit to find it, but we will go ahead and get started on number 36. All right. So if you take a look at number 36, it says the expression x squared plus bx plus c is factored into that. So this is kind of like a little puzzle now, okay? Where b, c, p, and q are non-zero numbers, so they're not zero, and they're going to be bigger than zero. Which of the following is going to be true? Okay, I don't like this question. Let me just put it that way. So let's see. If B and C, so if these are going to be bigger than zero, or actually less than zero, if B is less than zero, and then C is less than zero, so these are going to be negative numbers. When you make the little chart, remember your last number is going to be C, and C is less than zero. So C is going to be a negative number. Your middle number is right here, and that's going to be B. B is less than zero, so B is a negative number. So it's not asking you to find the answer, but it's asking what are the possibilities of the answer. And so if this is going to be negative, you know that you're going to have a negative number times a positive number to give you a negative number, right? Because remember, the last numbers have to multiply to give you the last number. If those are going to be a negative and a positive, and B is also negative, then that means your bigger number is going to be negative, because when a big number plus a smaller positive number, it is going to give you a negative number. So that could be a possibility. And so both P and Q are positive. Well, that's not true, because this right here is going to be P and Q. This is P and Q. P is negative and Q is negative, because a negative times a positive gives you C, which is a negative number. So A is not your answer. Okay, so automatically cross that out. P is positive and Q is negative. So remember, your P has to be a big negative number. Okay, so if P is positive and Q is negative, so if P is positive, Q is negative, then for the middle number to be a negative number, P cannot be positive, okay? Because if P is positive, positive number plus a small negative number is going to give you a positive number for B. And that can't be it, because B has to be negative. So it's not B, not possible. So then C. P is positive, so if P is positive and Q is negative, so Q is negative, then Q has to be bigger than P, and that could be true. If Q is negative, P is positive, and Q is the bigger number, well, isn't a small positive number plus a big negative number still going to give you a negative number? Yeah, so C will be it, okay? D, both P and Q are negative. If this is a negative, what's a negative times a negative? Positive. Can't be positive. C has to be negative. So your only option is C as in cat. But do you see why this is so hard, you guys? It's not asking to solve the question. It's asking you for like the philosophy of the questions. And that's why a lot of kids, they don't do well on questions like this. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you ever need to raise your grade, it's before the final. Do not count on the final raising your grade, because chances are it's not going to, because the final is freaking difficult. So just know that. All right, let's go on to the next one. Number 37, describe how the graph of this changes after this is applied. Okay, so f of x plus 7. The only changes with x, it's x plus 7. So you have x plus 7 squared. Okay, remember, if it's on the outside, this goes up or down, right? There's no numbers there, so it's not going up or down. What does the inside tell you? It's going to tell you it's going to go left or if it's gonna go right. If it is a positive 7, it's gonna go to the left. I know it's the opposite. If it's a negative 7, it's gonna go to the right. So this is gonna go left 7. That's what it's saying. So which one says left 7? I think it's C. That's it. And that's your answer. But if the number is on the outside of the parenthesis, then it's gonna go up and down. Okay, so it's possible they'll give you a question that's gonna be on the outside. So just don't be tricked by that. All right, let's take a look at number 38. Okay, so which one is a graph to this? So as I look at this question right here, do you guys see how the 3 right here means it's 3 up? The negative 4 here means 4 to the right. So when you're looking for a graph, you want to go 3 up, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's a happy face because it's a positive in front. There's no negative. So your graph will look something like this, like a smiley face. So which one looks like that? Yeah, I think A is the only one that remotely even looks like that in the same direction. Yeah. That was actually a pretty easy one, right? Like, do you guys remember when we went over transformation? So this is actually a pretty easy one. So do not get this one wrong on your test. If you're going to get a question wrong, get number 37 wrong, because that was a really hard question. Or not 36 wrong. That was a hard question. All right, number 39. Good morning. Go ahead and take a moment and read it. The only thing that I see here with this one is that it's going downward. Do you see how at 0, 0, this is the original, but this one's going down. It's going down by 5, right? So remember, y equals plus or minus a, x minus h squared plus k. You want to write that equation down so I could tell you where it's going to go. So copy that part down. Okay, so with your pencil, you're gonna write K is gonna go up or down. Positive K means to go up, negative K means you're gonna go down. Then your H is gonna tell you whether you're gonna go to the left or right. A negative H means you're gonna go over to the right. A positive H means you're going to the left. The plus and minus means that a plus is gonna be a happy face. A minus is gonna be a sad face. And the last one you guys need to know is your A's, okay? If A is bigger than 1, it is gonna be a skinny U shape. If A is smaller than 1, it's gonna be a wider U shape. And if you're like, what does that mean? That means like a skinnier U shape looks like that. A wider U shape looks like that. That's what I mean, okay? You just stretch a little bit. All right, so since this is going down, I would say that y is equal to, and it's a happy face with a positive a, and it's just gonna be an x squared because it's not going right or left, but it's going down, so minus 5. And if I look at the shape of this, I would say that this one here is a little bit skinnier. It is, it's a little bit skinnier. So if it's a little bit skinnier, a has to be bigger than 1, so a could be a 2. So one of the possibilities here, and probably the only possibility, is just probably B as in boy. That's your answer. All right, number 40. Take a moment and read that one, and then I'll go over it with you guys. Okay, so it says which one describes this? So this is kind of like a description one. So the -10, oops, no, that's a wrong one. The -10 right here means you go down 10. Hopefully you guys know that by now. The -6 means you go 6 to the right. Okay. The 1/2 means that A is smaller than 1 because it's 1/2 smaller than 1, which means your graph is going to be wider or more. I could say that it is more horizontally stretched. Okay, so which one says that? Horizontally stretched. Actually, it doesn't have the word horizontally stretched. It has compressed. So compress just means that it is going to be skinnier. So that's not it. Okay. I guess we could say vertically stretched. That's fine. So 10 down, 6 to the right. So let's see which one says that. This one says 6 to the left, 6 to the right, 10 down. Well, actually, I could say that this one could possibly be an answer because it does say 6 to the right, 10 down. And also A also says that. But then the big difference between A and C is that this one says it's vertically compressed by 1/2, and this one says vertically stretched by a factor of 2. And just to make sure that I have the correct answer, I'm just gonna go back and check my answer for number, what number are we on? 40? 40. So for number 40, I'm thinking it's gonna be D. So number 40, no, it's A, just kidding. So number 40, it is actually gonna be A. So let's go back over here. Okay, so this one's not going to be skinnier. This one is going to be wider. Just kidding. So this is going to be wider. So your answer in this case is going to be A as in apple right here. For number 40. All right, number 41, you guys, go ahead and take a moment and read that. All right, so for this one, it says, let me just make sure everything's set up correctly. All right, translate this graph x squared. So you know that x squared is going to be in a shape of a parabola because that's what an x squared looks like, okay? 4 units to the left. So 4 units to the left, that's one of the hints. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight that. 3 units up. And then vertically compressed by 1/2. So it's gonna be wider, okay? So then I would say y is equal to x, because it's going to the left, it has to be a +4 squared. And then 3 up, so +3, 1/2. So which one matches that? For those of you guys who just joined us, make sure you have your guided notes out because the final is not going to be easy. And so you need to make sure you know what's going to be on the final to study for it. So if you have your cell phone out, please put your cell phone away. So then looking at this, I think the only one that works is going to be A as in apple. That will be your answer. All right, number 42. Just have like 3 more left, you guys. That's it. So go ahead and read that one. Notice some of the differences of what that one looks like. Okay, so given the equation of this, what is a domain and range? Okay, so it gives you a graph right here. Domain are the x's, ranges are the y's. So x's means how far to the left, how far to the right does your graph go? I don't know about you guys, but do you see how the arrow right here? I mean, the graph's gonna keep going to the left and keep going to the right. So the domain is gonna be from negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay, so it's gonna be all numbers. And so far, the only one that doesn't work, because if you take a look at the answers, that one works, that one works, that one works. So it's A, B, or C. But the one that does not work is D, because it doesn't say all numbers, okay? So not D, cancel that out. Now you're gonna take a look at the range. Range is Y. How far up does your graph go and how far below does your graph go? Well, my graph doesn't go any further than -1. Do you guys see that? But then my graph's gonna keep on going down because of the arrow. So it's gonna be from -1 to negative infinity. So negative infinity, -1. Another way of writing that is just saying y is smaller or equal to -1. So which one says that? Well, the only one that's gonna work in this case is going to be C, because C has that. So that's how you tell which one's the correct answer. So as I'm kind of like going through this with you guys, I hope you guys are realizing like this is how you look at the hints of things, how you kind of go through them. All right, number 43. Which of the following is the vertex for that right there? Okay, vertex is a keyword. Vertex is H and K. You're like, where's the H and K here? Well, the H in here is gonna be right there. That's why I gave that equation. Y is equal to plus or minus A, X minus H squared plus K. And you just kind of match it. I mean, that's essentially what you do. So if you have to match this, do you guys see how K is 2? Do you see that? Right? So 2 is K. Well, which one has a 2? Well, that has a 2, that has a 2, that has a 2. Dang it, can't cancel anything. They both have 2s. All 4 of them have 2s. Well, now let's look for the H. The H is going to be negative H equals -5. Do you see that? So that's where that opposite comes from. Because you have a negative H equals a -5. And this is important, you guys. You want to wake up for this so that way you know how to do well on your final. So then a positive H equals a +5. So then your answer is a +5, +2. So the only one that works for this one is this one here, D. A lot of people pick C, and guess what? That would be incorrect. Someone. You will be turning this in. This is going to be your grade for week 19 and 20 because we're not doing anything else in class. So your grades for 19 and 20 is just going to be your completion of your study guide. I should say 18, 19, and 20. Yeah, there you go. All right, number 44, last question, you guys. Okay, I know it's a lot, but I think it's really important that you guys are going over the type of questions in the final because you're taking the final soon, right? So that's kind of important in my opinion. All right, number 44. What is the y-intercept of this graph? Okay, y-intercept, and you want to write this down, is when x equals 0. And your job is to figure out what is x. So when x equals 0, what is y? Well, let's put everything that has an x with 0. There's a x right there. Let's put a 0 right there. So then you have y equals 2 times 0 minus 1 squared plus 3. Well, grab your calculator. What is a -1 squared? -1 times -1 is a +1. 1 times 2 is a 2. 2 plus 3 is what? 5. Y equals 5 when x equals 0. So then when you write your answer, X always comes first because it's in alphabetical order, like X, Y, Z. X is 0 right there. Y is 5. So which answer has that answer right there? There's only one. Yeah, B as in boy. And again, you can't just go, oh, well, it's B, I circled it. You're not going to be able to understand this on the test, on the common or district final. You have to actually understand what it is that I'm doing and then be able to translate that on the actual test, you guys. It's not an easy test, but it has to be 15% of your grade. So I would just suggest that you guys study over this. But the good thing about it is you do have this on a video. And so if you're like, I missed a few minutes of class, make sure you watch the video for week 18 Friday to get yourself caught up. All right, I think those are the 10 questions. And so for those of you guys on Zoom, if you would like to continue on, because this is actually going on 45. And if you look at it, it goes on from 45. Oops, hold on. Let's go back a little bit. It goes on from 45 all the way. Where is it? Okay, here we go. It goes on from 45 all the way until the very end, which is like 60 something, I believe. Let's see. It's 63. So if you're like, can I just continue on? Absolutely. Continue on working on this all the way until 66. If you want this weekend, you guys have the answers right here. It's available to you. And then if you're like, well, what if I don't understand this? It is broken down based on units, so you can kind of go back to your notes and see the videos from this as well. But we'll go over all of these questions in class, okay? All right, so for those of you guys on Zoom, have a great day. I'll see you guys next time.